Hi, I'm Real Genetic Demon, and this is my fifth pickups of the month. It wasn't last time round, but it was last time round. I apologise for the lack of sort of tables and other things this time round. I'm currently in the process of having an extension built, so it's kind of all mid-process. So I'll flick a picture up there actually, if you can see the pile of half my retro stuff in a box, so just up there. Anyway, as usual, I'll stick the bit of footage for each of the game in the top corner. So, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, all specky again. Just seem to be picking up a few job lots recently. So all Spectrum. So without further ado, we'll get there. So we'll start with the fact that we've actually got a box with this one. So this is a few that came in an actual box. So we'll open this up. And we'll go through what's in here. So we'll start with the very beginning. Right. Okay. So we have Embassy Assault. It's one of the Sinclair Spectrum ones. That's there. Should be footage flying on the top of the screen. To be fair, it didn't load. My +2 just didn't want to load it. So we'll see whether or not I can actually get it working in a future day. I just quite like it because of the Sinclair things. For me, that was one of the things. I got Hungry Horace first off for my Spectrum. It's my very first 8-bit game. It wasn't the first game I'd ever played, but it was the first 8-bit game I played, and it was by Sinclair Spectrum, but a sort of Sinclair game. Next is Supercute. Now, this is an Atlantis game. I've seen many other people review this and not be particularly impressed by it. Me, on the other hand, I quite like Superkid. In fact, I intend to do a review for it. So because I've played it once already. So I think it's included on the ZX Vega. So yeah, I quite enjoyed it on that, and I quite enjoyed it now. So yeah, definitely worth looking at. Okay. Next is Predator. I did load this all up. Footage should be flying topical on the screen. One thing about Predators, I don't know whether this was late generation or what, but I don't remember having Predator back in the day, as they say. I kind of, it's got a wadding grade tape. It's a multi-loader, and the tape, if you can see that, is absolutely massive. I mean, that's just one of the biggest tapes I've ever seen for a game. And I mean, it literally loads the intro sequence first before it even starts anything else. So, yeah, big one, that one. Okay, then we have, Cookie. This isn't just Cookie, though. This is the 1982 version of Cookie. This is the Ultimate Play the Game in the Sinclair Spectrum packaging. I'm delighted with this. It's going to get a review, but yeah, I'm delighted with that one. Yeah, Chef Charlie is called, with his mad food, but it's a good one actually. 16K. Sometimes simple is the best, as they say. So yeah, Cookie. Looking forward to that one. Aliens. Yeah. Is it Game Over, man? Maybe, but yeah, Aliens is one of those games that it's quite it looks good, but I can't quite work it out. I think it needs more playtime, if I'm honest. So yeah, we'll come back to that, I'm sure, at some point. So with Aliens, and I was quite disappointed by this Hong Kong Phooey. Hong Kong Phooey is a cartoon character of sort of, I think he's 70s and 80s actually, to be honest with you. He might even be 60s, to be fair. He's a janitor by day, and he's Hong Kong Phooey, the #1 super guy. It didn't load. Very disappointed actually, because I used to quite like that one. But the graphics on back aren't Spectrum. They are most definitely something else. So probably Amstrad actually, from the looks of them, because they're very bright. Super Stuntman. Again, didn't load, but I only gave it a couple of attempts, so we'll give it we'll let it off this time round. So, but Codemasters, that one. I remember the fact that it was sort of like zipping along in your car, driving and doing jumps and things. It was quite good fun. So, another Codemasters, Twin Turbo V8. One thing about Twin Turbo V8, it should be on top of the screen there, but one thing about the Twin Turbo V8 was that the car was fully realised. It was fully solid. The graphics were there. The colour was there. It was kind of it was kind of new for me, and it looks like from the front cover, it looks like a Ferrari F40 of some sort, or certainly a Ferrari clone. don't think they'll have got. Even back then, they were starting to get into licensing. So, Video Olympics, and this is a joystick waggler. It actually says on the inside there, and it also says on the inside, and I'm don't know word of a lie. It does actually say sweatbands required because it's going to tax you. Problem was, although I could get it to load, I couldn't get it to play, which is kind of weird, really. Couldn't get it to push 1 or 0 or 2. I can't remember which of the exact numbers is. It's top on the screen there, but yeah, whichever one it was required to start the game, just wouldn't have it. Right. Oh, table football. Table football, yes. Literally 0 instructions for this. It is table football. I found it quite amusing when I'm take the tape up for a second, and I'll show you the inlay here. It quite literally, beyond this here and the front cover, it's blank. There's nothing there. It's there's nothing to see. So you had to guess the controls, which weren't that difficult. It was kind of up and down and then kick. But it's definitely a 2-player game, and also didn't really define that as you started it. I thought it was the computer was going to play against me, but no, I ended up playing against myself, so that's fine. Right, yes, I've got this already as a re-release, but this is the original. This is Kentilla, but why is it called Jasper? Or have I actually got a game called Jasper here and it's not Kentilla? It says it's the same person though. It says Derek Brewster. There's Derek Brewster on the front, and there's Derek Brewster on the inside, so I don't quite work that one out. Unfortunately, it didn't load. It also says custom loader does not display border, and if you look at the other side, it says do not use this other side, so you can't use second side unless it's a multi-loader of some sort. It's a bit bizarre. So yeah, I tried it briefly before, didn't really get into Kentilla, I'm afraid. So I can't say I'm overly bothered that it didn't work. This is a lesson in checking what you actually got. Rollercoaster, but it's not. The footage should be there. It's actually, and I hadn't realised this until I actually loaded it first before realising it's Thunderbirds. So I don't actually have Rollercoaster, which is a bit of a shame because I'm quite looking forward to that. I believe it's quite a good game. A few people have played Rollercoaster. It's a sort of a platformer with all kinds of things going on. I'm really kind of disappointed by that. Crash Smash as well on the bottom of there. So yeah, so I had Thunderbirds there, which is tape 1, and I actually loaded tape 2, side 2 by mistake. Assuming it was Rollercoaster, just picking it out. But I also had it separate as well, and it was loose. This is the tape 2, so there's 4 games on here, but you need codes to get into each part of it. So I'm hoping that side 1 works. But yeah, I'm quite disappointed about Rollercoaster anyway. Right, this is a game that definitely is going to get a revisit or one of its own. This is Viking Raiders. It's actually strategy war game. Definitely worth revisiting. I just like the look of it from the beginning, from the moment I got it. It's got actually quite a meaty inlay, but I need to get my glasses on to actually be able to read that. So there's quite a lot of information about what's going on in it. We'll be back to that one. That is for sure. That is for sure. Go back in the box there. Right, I've had this before. This is Cauldron, but it's not Cauldron's footage you'll be seeing in the top corner screen. It's actually Evil Dead footage that's running there. They put the Evil Dead on here as well as a free game. The thing I find interesting is there's literally no instructions for it. There are screenshots for Cauldron, and there's the Cauldron, what you're meant to be finding in the Cauldron, because it's kind of, you've got to put things into the Cauldron for the spell. But the Evil Dead is actually the game that's on there, so it says the Evil Dead on the back. So it's Cauldron on one side, like that, and it's Evil Dead on the other. Not Evil Dead. I did actually play it for some time. I even did a basic review for it. It feels very incomplete, but if you hang around on my channel long enough, you will be able to see that video if you wish to. Paperboy, just a general classic. Everybody knows Paperboy. The funny thing about this is it actually says on the front here, this game is not compatible with a plus 2A machine. Well, I've got a plus 2A machine and it fully works. The only reason it's not compatible is the high score has a little bit of a glitch on the top of the high score table, but otherwise the game itself fully loads, so do not be put off if you've got a +2A by Paperboy's rude message. So yeah, the glitch should be on the screen now. Now this is the before I get onto the last sort of selection of games, I'm going to go with this one. I forgot all about this. This is the Horizons tape. It was thrown in to the box as well. It's the side A and side B. It does load. It's on the top. It's on the top of the screen there. I'd forgotten though that side A was all how your computer works and all the other bits and pieces from what the ROM was and what the RAM was and all and keyboard tests and all that kind of stuff. I actually forgotten all of that. It was funny because I was loading the side going, oh, this is interesting, what is this? And then remembered after a while, it's been a while since I've loaded the Horizons tape, and to be fair, this is the what I've got one with a cover somewhere else, but I haven't actually got a cover for this one, so yeah, yeah, good game. Oh well, good game, good, interesting actually, interesting history. Very long loading though, lots of title screens and other things going past. Right, now these are the ones that I'm just delighted for, because I bought this pack, or job lot, which included this plastic box for cassettes. Simply because it contained one of these particular games and some more from the same size. So we have Orion from Software Projects, which is really that's not one of my favourite ones. You have to collect these little yellow aliens. You're meant to be saving them. If you eat the white ones, they kind of make everything disappear. But if you collect the yellow ones, you're moving forward. You can go from 2 screens. It's not bad. It's just not my favourite. But it's Software Projects, and it's an original Software Project, so I'm quite impressed with that in that sense. Thruster, yeah, I actually quite like Thruster. I've played this before. It's a 16K game. It says any spectrum. Nice bright red tape. I like it when they used to do that kind of stuff, make them sort of, bright colours. But Thruster's another Software Projects game. I'm again quite delighted because it's another Software Projects game. I like this one. It's another good game actually. Really enjoyable. And for me though, this is the one that I was really chuffed with. Software Projects Manic Miner. And why was there a killer telephone chasing him? I don't understand that anyway. But yeah, Manic Miner, Software Projects one, full on blue, whatever else it is. And interestingly enough, it's not a first edition, it's a second edition, as it says at the top there, which is I thought was quite interesting that we actually managed to get second editions. So, but Manic Miner, I will revisit this now. I've got it on cassette and do it again. But yeah, Manic Miner is it's the start of platformers for me. This is what taught me what platformers were. That and possibly Chucky Egg, to be honest with you. But Manic Miner is that game. So anyway, yeah, fantastic. So not so many this time round, but I've decided to break these up a little bit because otherwise I would be loading games for hours and hours and hours. Last time I did something like this, it took me about 8.5 hours to actually load every game, to test it, to look at it, to put some stuff off. So I decided that it was probably best not to keep doing long loads, so we might 20 games seems a reasonable amount for me anyway. Alright, anyway, I've been your host, Real Genetic Demon. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye bye now.